I think it's about time that I rank the fourth phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 4 started with WandaVision back in January of 2021, and it ended with Black Panther Wakanda Forever in November. But I think Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special, served as a sort of epilogue to this phase. New characters were introduced and new storylines were tried, and I guess some of these things didn't stick with the audience. Over 17 projects, or 18 actually, 18 projects were released if you count the I Am Groot shorts that also came out, which I will also include in this ranking. At number 18, I have She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I had high hopes for this show, and it started out fun, but it ultimately fell flat. Thankfully, we got Charlie Cox back as Daredevil, and Tatiana Maslany is the perfect Jen Walters. At number 17, I have Eternals. It's unfortunate that this movie is so low on my list because I actually think I'm starting to like it. Is it perfect? No, nowhere near perfect, but it's still a good movie. It was experimental, it was something else. At number 16, I have Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is one of my favorite Marvel characters. She was one of the OG Avengers. Everybody loves her. And the movie just didn't come out as great as we'd hoped. But it introduced us to some cool new characters like Florence Pugh as Yelena or the new Black Widow, and unfortunately Taskmaster, which is one of my favorite villains. But ultimately, it was just a sad adaptation of this character. At number 15, I have Miss Marvel. I personally think it was a great show, even though I'm not part of the demographic audience, but it was still fun. They fumbled the end of the show. The character of Miss Marvel is awesome, and Iman Vellani truly embodies this character, and she's kind of a fangirl of the Avengers, just like we are fanboys or fangirls of the Avengers in real life. So yeah, it was a different take on the MCU, and it was also an experimental project, and I think it was quite successful. I'm hoping and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a second season. Number 14, I have what was one of my most anticipated Phase 4 projects, Thor Love and Thunder. I had such high hopes for this movie, but it didn't pan out the way I hoped. But bear with me, it's still a good movie, it's just not great. Christian Bale as Gore was phenomenal. At number 13, I have What If. Now, this show had a lot of highs and lows. There were great episodes like the Doctor Strange episode and the Marvel Zombies episode, but the others just didn't stick quite as well. And the best thing that came from the show was one of Chadwick Boseman's last performances. It was a great Star-Lord, a great T'Challa, and hopefully we still get to see this Star-Lord or this T'Challa in the future of the What If series. At number 12, I have Hawkeye. Some might say the show is too high up on my list, but I actually really love the show. And somehow I feel like it should have been higher. I go crazy over Christmas content, and Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner's chemistry in the show was just great. We got to see Kingpin again, we got new characters like Echo. At number 11, I have Moon Knight. Okay, so Oscar Isaac was obviously the right guy for this role. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough of Moon Knight or Mr. Knight. We got a lot of Steven and Mark, but not enough of the hero himself. Hopefully, there's a season 2 so that we can get to explore these characters a lot more. Moon Knight is one of my favorite Marvel characters, so I definitely want more of him. At number 10, I have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which started off great, and it also starts off my top 10, but ultimately the villains weren't that great. The characters were great, like John Walker, amazing. It's great to see US Agent in the MCU, and to see the new Captain America take up the mantle. At number 9, I have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this movie totally delivered on the madness with all of those cameos, but there was not enough multiverse. I wish we got to see more of the other universes, but hopefully we'll get to see that in the future. Benedict Cumberbatch and Elizabeth Olsen saved this movie with exceptional performances. Number 8, I have I Am Groot, which is a little unconventional since it's just a few shorts. But these shorts are so wholesome. At number 7, I have the show that started off Phase 4 of the MCU, and this was also one of those experimental projects, but this one definitely paid off. The last few episodes felt a little rushed, but the character development was wonderful, and Elizabeth Olsen was amazing. And also shout out to Paul Bettany, who did an amazing job as Vision once again. And number 6, I have Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's one of the better movies of this phase and one of the best MCU movies so far. The tribute to Chadwick was just so heartfelt and powerful. And the new characters have a lot of potential, so I can't wait to see what Kevin and the rest of Marvel Studios do with these characters in the future. Number 5, I have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It was hard to choose my top 5, but I knew this movie had to be in my top 5. This is a brilliant movie, and it definitely stands out as one of my favorite MCU movies and one of my favorite movies from 2021. I'm just a sucker for a good martial arts movie. At number 4, I have Werewolf by Night, the first special presentation by Marvel Studios, and it was, well, special. It introduced a different side of the MCU and it gave us new characters. I'm glad to see Man Thing and Werewolf by Night in the show and so many other new characters. It was well written, well acted, well directed, and well, it was just totally awesome. At number 3, I have Loki. I really thought the show would be higher up or higher up in my ranking, but it is still my favorite MCU show so far. I'm really excited for the second season. I can't wait to see where the TVA and Loki will go next. At number 2, I have Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special. Now, this is just one of the most wholesome projects in the whole MCU. James Gunn loves these characters, and we love these characters. And this is just a beautiful love letter to these characters and to Christmas, which, as you know, as I've already said, is one of my favorite holidays. So, this is also my favorite Christmas special, and I know I'm going to watch it every single year around Christmas time. This is the best Christmas gift any Marvel fan could have asked for. And my number 1 pick is Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, this probably isn't a surprise as Spider-Man is my favorite MCU character and the Spider-Man movies is one of my favorite franchises in the MCU. This is without a doubt one of the best Marvel movies ever. The multiverse is beautiful and that's because of Peter Parker. I guess you can call this also a Spider-Verse movie. This movie was just one of the best cinematic experiences I've ever had, and I can't wait for more Spider-Man in the future. I can't wait for more multiverse in the future, and I can't wait for more MCU in the future. I will be doing a video of my most anticipated Phase 5 project, so keep an eye out for that. For now, please like and subscribe to this video, and let's have a chat about what your favorite MCU projects of Phase 4 were.